Hi everyone. Today we are going to discuss about one more feature of AssertJ, which is custom conditions. So while performing your test, you might face such type of conditions which you might need to reuse again and again within your test, and those can be complex conditions as well. For example, say there is a person object. You have different attribute of that person object. So you first, what you do, you send a you send a get call to some particular API. You receive the response, and suppose that response has some person related information. Okay, and then you transform the JSON response into the person object. Okay, now there are different attributes, and you might need to perform different type of tests on those attribute, and this might happen like there are some common set of conditions that you are checking again and again on different type of test data. Okay, so for that kind of situation you can create a reusable, you can say, expression that you need to pass within your assertions to check if your actual data is meeting those conditions or not. So to start with, I have taken a simple example here. For example, this is again the same TestNG framework from our previous video of basics of AssertJ. So here what I have done, I am first will be creating like two condition classes. Okay, so this is really basic. Suppose you have integer, you want to check, make a assertion on that integer, whether the given integer is a even number. Okay, so for that what you will do, you will make some kind of a custom class here. Like there is a some one simple way as well of creating this, where you do not need to create a class again and again. We can use inner classes, inner anonymous classes as well, and we can use the feature of lambda expression as well to make it more concise. But this is the basic of it. So what we do, we create a condition class, and then we extend this condition class that we have here. Okay, this is provided by AssertJ, and then it will have the type of data on which we want to provide the assertion. Okay, so in our case, we have a list of integer in our test. So that means we want to make some assertion on integers which are coming as part of our assert. Okay, and then we get the integer. Okay, and here we will have an integer, and here we will just check whether the integer value is not null and it is an even number, and it will return us boolean. So if I open this condition, you will find here we have a matches function which is returning a boolean. It can have a generic type here. Okay, and on basis of this, it is going to make the checks, some check, and return the boolean, and we are going to define the checks within this matches function only. So this is our check here in this case, which will return us a boolean value. And what is this then? This is just a description that we want to add here as part of what we are kind of asserting here. We are just checking it is an even number. So if you go to the super, again this is within condition only. Here you can see it is a constructor in which you are providing a description, and this description will be used within your assertion as well. Just in case your test fails, you will be able to see this particular message. So this is about even number, and similarly we can have one more assertion, for example, whether the number is positive or not. So the same thing, a non-negative number or a positive number, I have done the same extend here. Here we have overridden the matches function, and here we are just checking whether the value is greater than 0 or not. So this is a pretty straightforward two conditions, whether the numbers that we are going to get are those positive and are those even number or not. Now going to the test. So here what I did first, I know that I need to make assertion on this particular list. okay, and it contains integer. So here I will create the instance of the even number condition and then the positive number condition. Now there are various things that you can do with this condition. If you see here itself, this will return you a condition instance as well, because this particular class is extending this condition. So here what you will see that we have this flexibility of combining two conditions as well in one go. Okay, so in case you want to check whether a particular number is both even and positive, just use this all of, and this is also provided by AssertJ. This is a class which is kind of here you can find various kind of classes within this condition that you can have. Like we can have any of, all of, then we have negative, not, but for demo purpose I am taking a basic one here. So what it will do, it will combine all the condition together and it will form a final condition, and the condition name in our cases is even and positive. Now this you can use directly, like here I have used it, whether the numbers that are being written by this list are even and positive. Okay, so again this is a, like here you can see this is a method, like there are various methods provided. Here you can see r not as well, r as well, then you will have r at least one, which is taking the condition instance here. Okay, so what we are doing here, we are just checking whether all the numbers which are coming here are even positive number, and if you want to check at least one of them is serving a particular condition, then we have this r at least one method here. Okay, so here what we are doing, in case you want to make a condition on fly at runtime, means of course it is happening at runtime, but in a concise way you want to have a condition and you know that this condition is not reusable, then you can have something like this, like new condition at runtime. You created a uh, like anonymous object here for this condition. Okay, and then it will have here we are passing we know that it will take the integer by use of this generic. Okay, so once we have a number here, we are just checking whether number is not null and number is divisible of 10. That means when we are having a like like there will be, it is divisible, completely divisible by 10. Okay, so modulo operator we have here, and that means it is a multiple of 10. Now here we are checking whether this particular list that we have, it has at least one number which is a completely divisible, is a multiple of 10, simply put, right? So that's how you can combine multiple conditions. So this was a simple example, so let me try to execute this case so that we can see how it works. And in our next test here we will take Java object as the example, and we will create condition on the fly. Okay, so here the test code passed. So just in case our test is not passing, then what will happen, let me quickly make it, for example, a even only but not a multiple of 10. So in that case we shall have a description, and the description is something which we have provided here, and in these classes we have provided description as this super, when we are like kind of having the constructor, default constructor of our customized class, there we have the description. But in this case, as we know that we have removed the only multiple of 10 from this list, so we shall see this here, that expecting element to be at least one time a multiple of 10. Okay, we didn't get it, that's why we have this error. So I will just revert it back to 20. Now the second test, suppose now the same thing, but instead of literals we have reference types. Okay, we are working with now the Java objects. So we created a person class here. I have just used Lombok and have 3 attributes of the class here. Okay, now I'm creating the objects using those attributes, providing the values. Here I have a list of person, okay, with the name, age, and salary. Now your condition could be something like that. You need to check whether the person is adult. For that, what you will do, here you have the generic associated. So at runtime, it will be able to know, yeah, there will be a person instance coming in, and this person you are checking, it is not null and its age is greater than 18. Okay, so I have used Lombok, not define getter, and set explicitly. It will be taken care by this data annotation here. Okay, so this is just checking whether the given person is adult or not. Okay, so here you can see we just pass the entire person object, not passing some particular attribute. Then from the person we are extracting the get age value, and then we are making the assertion. Similarly, if the name start with a, so for that we will have assertion something like this, and then whether it is a high earner or not, so we have assertion like this. Now same thing, instead of creating the different classes, we have created anonymous classes here. Okay, and then we are kind of having the reference of that condition class here in form of different conditions that we have. Now to make the assertion, this is simply put like we just need to check assert that people, like just the last time as we were doing it for integers, here we had the list of integers. Now we are doing the same thing with list of person here. Okay, so assert that people, which is nothing but a list of person, are is adult. So means every person is a adult, right? If that assertion will pass, our test case will pass. Then the next one is are at least one name start with A. So at least one of there is one person whose name is starting with A. This is for that. Okay. And then the last one have at least one high earner. Similarly, it has at least one high earner, so salary greater than 60,000. So these are the way we can define our customized condition, and here we have again combined the conditions together in case you want to check whether is adult and high earner. So just use all of and you will be able to combine two conditions together and then make the assertions as per your requirement. Okay, now suppose let me first let me first execute this one as well. So what I'll do is I will, as of now it will pass, so let me do one thing, let me increase this condition to maybe 1 lakh. Okay, and now we should see this description. Okay, and you can understand, of course I had to change it here as well, 60,000 to 1 lakh, but yeah, you get the picture. And here we have expecting element. Okay, one fail is that it is not a adult because we have a age 15, and then because we are not using soft assertion, it failed at the first time only, and we didn't see, because if it is failing here it will not go there because these are hard assertion. In upcoming sessions we will see how to apply soft assertion as well, but for now let me tweak the age back to say 25. But yeah, you were able to see the adult related message because of this description that we have provided. Okay, and now we will be able to see. Okay, so the message is here, the message that uh, we are having here. Of course we needed to change this to 1 lakh, but yeah, it is self-explanatory, so I will just move it back to then 60,000. Okay. Now suppose you have a situation that these conditions are being reused again and again. So what we can do? We can just create a class, something like that I have created in my condition related package. So in case there is a particular condition that you are referring again and again, what we can do is we can just have different conditions defined, and we can have a static method for each condition, and it will return the condition of generic of that particular object on which we want to assert something. Okay, so this is some like taken the same example from our second test case. So here I have just taken the same condition and we are returning it here. Similarly, we are returning the condition of person, and similarly for high earner as well. Here we can provide data from our test. Okay, and we can have the condition accordingly. So if I go to condition test again, now suppose these conditions are being repetitive, these tests are repetitive in the sense of there are different test data, different precondition. On basis of that you are getting the person instances and you are making checks on that. So in that case, simply put, you can keep the condition in a single class and reuse it in different tests across different test classes. Okay, so something like person condition is adult, name start with A, and is high earner. Okay, so the same principle. Let me just try to, yeah, this time I have the age 15. Let me make it 25 here, and let me take A, B, C, D. Let me take E here. Now this condition should fail. There is no name which is starting with E. So let me execute it. So here we can see has at least one times name start with E. So name is not starting with E, and we can see here we have this description provided here. That's why we are seeing it here, right? So this is how like we can make customized condition within AssertJ and reuse it again and again as per our requirement. So that's all for this video, guys, and in the next video I'll try to come up with software session part, and then there are some other features as well which I want to cover as part of this series. So in case you're liking the content that I'm making, please do like, share, and do subscribe. See you in the next video. Thank you.